hello, and welcome to NME Albums Club, NME's weekly video where we review some albums. 2 that are out this week, 1 that's celebrating a very special anniversary.
Very special.
I'm Tom Howard. This is Grimes.
Hi, I'm not Leonie, as you might have noticed. I am Charlotte Gunn. Hello.
Charlotte Gunn. Digital editor of NME.com. The first album we're going to talk about is by Gorillaz.
So, Humanz by Gorillaz. It's been 7 years since the last Gorillaz album. I think everybody has been waiting to see what it'll be like. We've written about it loads over the last year. And the first track we heard from this was back in January, Hallelujah Money, which was featured Benjamin Clementine, who won the Mercury 2 years ago, 2015, I think. It wasn't really what anyone was expecting, I don't think, from a new Gorillaz track. It was kind of quite...
It's not a party track.
It's not a party track. It was like billed kind of as an anti-Trump song. It was that, but everyone was a bit like, okay, that's not really what we thought a new Gorillaz music was going to sound like. But this, on the other hand, party, party, party.
Yeah.
What do you think of it, Tom?
Yeah, well, I actually really like the Benjamin Clementine track. I liked that it was a bit quite low key and caught you off guard a little bit. But yeah, no, I prefer Gorillaz to Blur. Right?
Yeah, right, but is that because you just can't like Blur? Because you love Oasis so much?
A little bit. But I just find Blur sort of annoying, whereas I find Gorillaz a bit more like... I like almost everything about Gorillaz, apart from one thing, which we'll come to in a bit.
Right.
But I like the fact that there's a lot of ideas going on. There's a lot of, but I like the guests. There's just they do good things with good guests, and there is a good roll call of guests on this album. So you're going to read out.
Well, yeah, we need to talk about the guests. This is a guesty album. We've got De La Soul, Grace Jones, Vince Staples, Danny Brown, Jenny Beth from Savages, Noel G, Mr. Gallagher himself, which kind of drove the internet into a frenzy when they realised that Damon and Noel had collaborated on this record. Who else have we got? Drum, Kalela, Popcorn, maybe Staples, like basically everyone. And Damon said he got people who his teenage daughter thinks is cool to work on this record, and it comes across, but like it's sort of people at various stages of their career, people like just sort of starting out, but all just really, really good people.
The Vince Staples
so good.
Feels like an especially brilliant moment.
So that's the opening track, the Vince Staples song Ascension, and you know, this whole record has a kind of it's the end of the world, but let's have a party feel about it. And that opening track with Vince Staples, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's so good.
Yeah. If you don't know who Vince Staples is, you probably do, but in case you don't, he is he's a young, he's kind of new, not really new, American rapper, and he's well worth checking out. He's so like. He's fierce, isn't he?
He is fierce, he is fierce. Yeah.
But do you know what Damon told all the contributors? He said this to them. He said, "Imagine when before they were going to do their thing, or I don't know exactly what moment, but apparently he said this to all of them. He said, imagine a night where everything that you believed in was turned on its head, and then ask them, how would you feel?
Right.
And ask them to put that into their verses, so that this or whatever it is they're doing." So to give this album a kind of, I don't know, a kind of disorientating, but like you said, end of the world feel.
Yeah. But apparently he said to Pusha T, who's a non-person, I don't know if I mentioned, who's on this record, long before Trump got elected, imagine a time when Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and that's kind of what he put into his song. And then afterwards, Pusha T was like, hey, he knew. He was right. How scary. But I love it. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's good. The one thing I don't like about Gorillaz is that they do interviews in character.
Yeah,
which does really annoy me because I think it's quite silly. But I do like the way that they are always pushing things. Like it's very clear that Gorillaz to Damon Albarn and to Jamie Hewlett is far more than just a band to them. It's far more than just music.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got the illustrations and everything. And in the past they've made a big deal of doing gigs where they you can't see Damon, Jamie Hewlett, and it's all the silhouettes or whatever, when they headline Glastonbury, that kind of thing. And then they did all these. We sent an interviewer to interview them, and it was he was sitting in a room and looking at an empty sofa and asking an empty sofa questions, and then the empty sofa was replying to the questions. But then when we got the video back, 2D and Murdoch from Gorillaz were talking to the interviewer, and you could watch that.
But he could hear them, right?
He could hear them. Yeah, he could hear them from somewhere, from in the back room. And then they're doing this TV series next year.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
That kind of thing. So I like it. It's just Damon Albarn's vehicle for doing things that he couldn't. Oh, and Jamie Hewlett's, but for doing things they maybe couldn't do in other.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I think some people as well, they kind of buy in. They like the music, but they sort of think all that was a bit like, meh, cool, but not really that important. Yeah. But Damon and Jamie were talking recently, saying how they like how technology's come on, like VR stuff, and that they can really kind of bring Gorillaz to life now in a way that when they first started out, it was, they were just cartoons. Now there's sort of loads of stuff that can make it a bit more interesting. I don't think Damon Albarn's ever done anything rubbish. What do you think? I think he's a genius.
Ever done anything rubbish? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like Park Life is rubbish, isn't it?
It's not though. It's just not. It's great.
It's silly, isn't it? What else? They're like Girls and Boys. That's rubbish.
Oh, it's not. It's so good.
It's silly, isn't it? His solo album was rubbish. Wasn't it?
No, that wasn't rubbish either. So in the time that the Gorillaz have been away, Magic Whip.
Yeah.
Got the boys back together. Not rubbish.
Nah.
Everyday Robots. Not rubbish.
Yeah.
He's been busy.
Yeah, no,
he's a genius.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. He's a talented man. He wears flat caps though. So.
That is true.
Can't have it all. What did you give this out of 5?
Only because you can always do better. 4.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be one of the albums of the year. I know it's only April. Is it still April? I know it's only April.
Yeah.
But I reckon this is going to be in my top 3 albums of the year.
I'll give it 3.5.
3.5.
Because I do really like it, but I think it may be. So I was a massive fan of Plastic Beach, the last Gorillaz album, which I thought was really great. And I really like the song Stylo. Do you remember that opening single?
How it goes?
It's like the boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom. Boom, boom,
oh yeah, okay.
Boom, 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 boom. You know that?
Yeah.
And also there's nothing good as it's coming up.
True.
It's there, you know what I mean? So it lacks that little thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good. And well done.
3.5 and 4.
7.5 in total. The next album we're going to talk about is by Sylvan Esso and is called What Now? So Sylvan Esso are an American indie pop duo called, they are called Amelia Meath and Nick Sanborn, Charlotte.
They're from North Carolina. Tom.
Oh yeah.
You ever been there?
No.
No?
Nah.
Me neither. Yeah, if you don't know them, you might remember in 2014 their debut single Hey Mami did really well. That was the first single they released. It kind of made a lot of top tracks of 2014, and their debut self-titled album is really good. It's kind of cutesy electro indie pop. I don't reckon it's really for you.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know about your music taste.
Yeah.
But they're good, and they're just back We've had 3 singles of this new album. They're all, they're quite dancey. I like them. So the first one we heard was Radio at the end of last year. Then Kick, Jump, Twist, and Die Young. And Amelia's vocals, I know she kind of reminds me of like a lot of new female-fronted bands at the moment. Like, well, Maggie Rogers, not a band, but it's that kind of vibe. Like she's got an amazing voice, and this record is really kind of hangs off that in a way. It's sort of like it's all quite like a bit cutesy. You can imagine it sort of soundtracking a Zoe Deschanel film or something, but it feels very now. Like there are a lot of like I'm hearing this sound a lot in music at the moment. Yeah. But
what is the best track on the album?
I really like Radio, which was the first single. It kind of the first half of the album is a bit more upbeat, and then it gets a bit more like melancholy towards the end. But you know, she does both well, I think. But I prefer the more.
Does it make you cry?
No. It doesn't make me cry, no. But that's not to say it's not emotive.
Yeah, I'm out.
No, not into it.
No. You're right. It's not really.
For you.
I've heard it in the distance, and it's it sounds like perfectly good, but not my sort of thing.
Yeah, right. There's this song on it, Kick, Jump, Twist, which it sort of starts off like a bit beepy boopy, and then it gets quite like bassy, sort of almost housey chorus in it. It's a bit like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like
that sounds
it.
Good, actually.
Yeah.
Sing it.
No.
Why not?
I just don't want to.
Right.
But yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I don't know that it's gonna rock the world, but it's a good record.
Okay, yeah. What would you give it out of 5?
I reckon 3. Yeah, because I don't know that it's gonna blow anyone's minds, but I really enjoy it.
I agree with everything she said.
Okay, what's next? Oh, it's the big one. It's the big anniversary one.
Yeah, the anniversary one. Well, so the anniversary one is so it's 10 years, yes, since.
Can you guess what it is? Go on, guess what it is.
It's the second Arctic Monkeys album.
Oh, you've just told them.
Favourite worst nightmare.
Right. Okay, you just told them.
Yeah.
Someone to kiss, someone to kick you. There's nothing that you couldn't slip through. Or at least that's the impression I get, 'cause you're smooth and you're wet and she's...
So, favourite worst nightmare. The Arctic Monkeys second album, which came out on April 23rd, 2007. A mere 15 months after their debut album. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not.
It's impressive.
Which made them one of the biggest bands in the UK, certainly at the time the most exciting band in the UK.
I think that debut was the fastest selling British album of all time.
Yeah.
And this one, you know, 2007, Alex Turner is 21. He's already had that phenomenal success just a year before. Like, how do you write a second album that has to top that? That is hard.
It's hard, yeah.
So
I guess
hard.
he must have just had, because they've had such a long, although it's amazing to think they've only been around 11 years. It feels like they've been around a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
But because everything they've done has been good, and you know he keeps producing the goods. He's a very talented man. He just had a lot of songs in him that was ready to get out. I guess, I don't know. They never seem to have been massively affected by pressure.
No.
They're like, they don't
care, do they?
They don't care. They don't care. It's very level-headed. Well,
But-
maybe less so now.
Yeah. Have you seen him dancing lately?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about the Arctic Monkeys is because they sound so different now to what they did back then, is kind of looking back and seeing how you can sort of trace the evolution of how they went from kind of really quite scuzzy indie band to, I don't know what you'd even describe them as now, like just, I guess they're sort of a straight up rock band, but with loads of different kind of LA and hip hop kind of influences going on. And Favourite Worst Nightmare it's odd because you've got a debut album, massive album for reasons discussed. You've got Humbug, which was the one that came after Favourite Worst Nightmare, which is kind of seen as the one where they went heavy because it's the Josh Homme one and all that kind of stuff. And Favourite Worst Nightmare sometimes maybe gets overlooked a little.
It does, but it's ridiculous. Brian Storm, what an album opener!
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Amazing
so
drumming,
good.
really heavy.
Oh, the drumming on that.
And it's loads heavier than the first album. They definitely, it's like they've got one foot in the sort of jingly jangly indie bit. Well, they were never jingly jangly. One foot in the sort of the kind of really fast scuzzy indie, but then it is a bit heavier. They do step it up a bit. But yeah, Brian Storm's all the singles are amazing.
Oh, so good.
Brian Storm's amazing. So Teddy Picker's amazing. Fluorescent Adolescent is amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
But you know, 505 as well. Like, what a way to end a record. Like, turn it on that.
So,
just so perfect.
I've got some exciting information for you.
Oh, go for it. Tell me.
A few years ago, NME did a special one-off magazine dedicated to the Arctic Monkeys.
Right.
And one of the features in that was about the specific characters that Alex Turner is talking about in his songs. So I picked out 3 from Favourite Worst Nightmare.
Love it.
Yeah. So I'll talk about 505, seeing as you mentioned that already. So Turner admits to refer specifically to an ex-girlfriend, and looking at his personal timeline and when it was likely written, it's probably Joanna Bennett. Joanna Bennett is the person who he co-wrote Fluorescent Adolescent with.
Right.
When they were on a kind of, I think they did it using wordplay in a caravan or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, he said that it's his first proper love song, blah, blah, blah. And he said that the lyrics suggest elliptical account of a relationship glimpsed in nostalgic bites, fragments, images, the 7-hour flight, the 45-minute drive. It's suffused with a sense of distance and the yearning to close it.
Okay.
What do you think about that? So here's some, and in the lyrics, right, this is the little section about the song, about what the internet thinks about the character in the song. Someone reckons it's about Alex Turner going to his girlfriend's house to dump her after being warned by his mother. And apparently the line, "the knife twists at the thought that I should fall short of the mark," refers to a T.S. Eliot poem, Rhapsody on a Windy Night. What do you think about that?
He's a clever guy.
You like it more? Yeah, he likes poems.
He does.
Yeah.
Just sits at home.
What do you think about that? So I've also got one of these for...
Brian Storm is about a guy they met on tour, right?
Or going on tour, here you go. This is Mr. Brian Storm, drawn entirely from real life. Backstage in Tokyo on their first album tour, the band met a fast talker who had somehow managed to blag his way past security. Here's what Alex said.
Was it you?
I can't remember Brian now. I don't know if he were in my imagination or what. It's a blank spot in my brain. I think that were what he wanted. That's what he said about that.
Right.
Is there anything else interesting in that?
Do me a favour.
Do me a favour? Okay, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were just being Larry.
Do me a favour.
And we reckon that maybe this is about Alex Turner himself.
Right.
This is what the band have said, it doesn't say who. It's about a goodbye, really, and about... Oh, this is Alex. It's about a goodbye, really, and about me being a bit of a knob. Perhaps I were craving to experience something else and looking back and feeling like you were a bit of a knobhead, just in how you perhaps treated that person. It's just describing a goodbye. That's another thing. When you're with someone, they seem happier in photos before you met her, or happier in stories from before. I always think they do.
What do you think? I think that's probably true.
He speaks in riddles, doesn't he?
No, I think that made a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. But that's what's amazing. Alex Turner is a great lyricist. He draws on, you know, real life stuff, and he can be quite oblique, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, kind of personal as well. You know, don't know. Do you remember when this album came out?
I do. This I think was kind of. I'd seen them the year before on the NME Awards tour.
Yeah.
With Mystery Jets and We Are Scientists, and you know, as with most of the country, loved that album. And this for me, I like this record better than Humbug. AM's great, but yeah, I think it is overlooked, like a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit underrated, I would say.
I overlooked it at the time. I was very into the first album, and then kind of lost the thread a little bit. for Favourite Worst Nightmare and Humbug,
Right.
and then got well back into them for Suck It and See
Yeah.
and AM. But then, yeah, looking back, Favourite Worst Nightmare is actually pretty bloody good.
It's
And the
pretty
fact they still
bloody good.
play, like, new Arctic Monkeys sort of don't like playing a lot of old Arctic Monkey songs live. I think they find it a bit odd
Right.
because they're so different now as people. As a
Yeah,
band.
yeah.
But they do still, like, Brian Storm is the song Geek Stat. It's the
Go
song
for
they've
it.
played the second most of all their songs.
Oh, right.
So they're very wedded to it.
I imagine it's quite a good way to get.
Yeah,
everyone,
it
like-
is. And when it starts, it's just epic. What do you think the song they played the most is?
Um,
I'll give you a clue. It's really obvious.
that,
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Right. Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
What would you give it?
Favourite Worst Nightmare?
Yeah.
4.5. Can't give it 5 because AM's better. Suck It and C's better.
Do you think Suck It and See? I don't think Suck It and See is bad.
Suck It and C straight up 5 out of 5.
Right. Okay. I'm going to give it a
I
5.
reckon.
I'm going to give it a 5.
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do better than that.
It is. They're brilliant. They're really brilliant.
Until next time.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Leonie will be back next week. So.